So just before we get into the review, I just want to quickly say something. Before I went to see this movie, the trailer for Gemini Man starring Will Smith, directed by Ang Lee, came out. Well, the trailer was showing and I was watching it, but I couldn't help but laughing out loud because that trailer looks horrible. Whoever edited that trailer needs to be fired. What's up guys, welcome back to Mainly Movies, the channel where we talk about, well, mainly movies. So today I'm going to be reviewing the 5th installment of the Rambo series, and that is Rambo Last Blood. Directed by Adrian Grunberg, starring Sylvester, Stalone and Vega. This time John Rambo has to take on the Mexican cartel because they took something personal to him. His family.
I've watched people I've loved die. Some fast with a bullet. Some not enough left to bury.
So straight away, this movie has been getting a lot of backlash because of many things. People are saying it's political, people are saying it's for Trump supporters, people are saying that it's way too violent and it's encouraging violence. All of those negative outlooks on this film are just incredibly stupid. So this is a Rambo film. Just to remind you people, this is a Rambo film. A movie about revenge, about redemption, and also about a lot of killing. For those people who don't know and who are giving this movie a lot of negative backlash, I just want to give a little history on the Rambo franchise for you. Rambo is a very broken man. He is a character that has been broken from the very get-go. From the very first movie, we get to see his reaction to violence, to war, and every movie he gets pushed more and more. And that's why the last couple of movies have been R-rated, because they actually have had the choice to make R-rated Rambo, and that is the way Rambo should be. Violent, because he is a destroyed man. And for people to say that this movie is encouraging violence or it's political or whatever, that's just nonsense. This is an entertaining action movie, and that's all it wants to be. So to get into the positives, this movie, like Sylvester Stallone in this movie is unbelievable. Every performance he does, even if it's a bad movie, he will put 100% effort into the character. Just like Rocky or any of the other characters that he's most famous for, he will put 100% effort in, just like he did in this movie. Sylvester Stallone is the best part of this movie, and you can't say that he's flat, you can't say his performance is bad, because this is Rambo. When the camera's rolling, he's Rambo. Another thing that I love about this movie is the brutality of it. It's rated R for a reason. It just really shows how broken this man is and how far he will go to protect his family and to do whatever he can. And I feel like that was a great aspect of this movie, especially with the third act, with all the traps and all the brutal violence going on. It was really good. This is just like a mindless, I will not really say mindless, but this is just a very entertaining action movie, but it has a lot of dramatic parts to it. For most of this movie, and this is another negative I heard a lot of people say, and for me this actually worked about the film, is the first and second act of this movie are slow, but they're slow for a reason. They're building up to that conclusion, that third act of this movie, and I feel like the build up is perfect. They do a great job at setting up all the characters to make sure that when shit hits the fan, that you care about what's going on, and you really feel and you really put yourself on John Rambo's side. Although it's brutal and black and dark, you still kind of want him to win. Another thing about this movie is that the action itself is directed beautifully, and I feel like not just because it's gory, but because there's this one scene earlier in the movie, not spoiling, this isn't really spoilers, he goes into this prostitution rink and he is like killing a whole bunch of people with like a hammer, and it was just beautifully shot. It was sort of like John Wick in a way, when the camera is like over his shoulder and it's very clean and you can see it all, and I feel like that was directed very, very well. But like most action movies, there's going to be a few flaws, and this movie does have a few flaws. The first one is, I heard, this is another complaint I heard about this movie, and I feel like they exaggerated a little bit with it. They said that the screenplay is lazy. The only thing sort of lazy about the screenplay to me is that it does follow a lot of the same beats as a lot of other action movies and a lot of other revenge movies, that it becomes, by the second act of this movie, it becomes quite predictable, and you can just picture everything that's going to happen ahead of you, and it usually does happen, and I knew what was going to happen before I had even seen the end of the movie. And, you know, well, that's just an action movie. It didn't bother me too much, but I feel like they could have done something a little bit out of the box, and they could have done something a little bit more creative, but I still enjoyed it, and I still feel like the third act of this movie was unbelievably cool. Another thing is, the new characters in this movie that get introduced, I feel like the movie should have been a bit longer for their characters to introduce them a little bit, because this is the first time we get to see the housekeeper and also his niece. And I feel like they could have maybe done a bit more with the characters and explained them just a little bit more, just so we could care about them just a little bit more, because when things do happen, then you can care about those characters a little bit more. But the movie is only an hour and a half, and it doesn't really give you much time to care about the characters. The only thing that makes it emotional and makes it, you know, heartbreaking when violence is happening and all that to these characters, or when something bad's happening to these characters, the only thing that's impacting you is Rambo's point of view. Everything it's the heartbreak and everything from Rambo's side that's making you sad, rather than seeing it from the character's point of view, if that makes any sense. The second act of this movie is a little bit slow, but I don't think it's that bad. I feel like it does a good job at building up to the third act, like I said, and that's probably the main reason why you watch this movie, is the third act and the action and all that. And it's just this movie's just very entertaining, that's all. There is, like I said, there is a few problems with the movie, but what movie doesn't have problems besides the movie Drive? Now, the villains in this movie, this is kind of a touchy subject, because I kind of wanted the villains to have a bit more humanity, but I didn't want them to be too kind of positive, or I didn't want them to be fleshed out as kind of good people, because the stuff they're doing is bad. Basically, they're just trafficking young girls, and you know, that's a touchy subject because that's real, that stuff actually is happening in real life. But I feel like they did a good job at making them bad people, and that making you really want Rambo to succeed and to win because of how bad these people are. I feel like if it went the other way and made them sort of, you know, a bit more, or like have some sort of positive, or give them a bit more leeway, I don't think that would have been very good at all. I like the way that they basically showed them to be very, very bad people. But I do feel like they could have been a bit more humanized rather than kill for most of the movie. I feel like you could have seen a bit more of them and maybe held back a little bit. I know this is an R-rated film and they wanted to go balls to the wall insane and everything like that, but I feel like the enemies could have been a bit more humanized than just running in and killing people. Another thing that I did like about this movie though is with the kills, it feels like people are dying. It doesn't feel like lifeless bodies or just you know, people running out with guns, but when they die, you know, you feel pain. I mean, it is an R-rated movie. You feel like there's just, with the traps and everything, you feel the pain and you feel like people are dying and people are really, you know, getting hurt. And I give the movie props for doing that, because it makes this movie feel a little bit more realistic than just a cheesy action film. Now, I'm not saying that violence is good or anything, and that's what people might think, but no, I just wanted to see an entertaining action movie, just like all the other Rambo movies. That's what this movie does. It delivers a good action movie with a pretty decent plot that, you know, we've kind of seen before, but it's not so bad, and I don't think it's as bad as people think it is. Like, just before I looked up, when I was looking up the director and the actors and stuff in the movie, it went from 31% to 29% in a couple of days, and it's just going down because a lot of people just think this movie's too violent or it's political or whatever. Just, this is my recommendation to you, and this is what I did. But this is kind of coming from a Rambo fan, but I went into this movie not expecting much, and also the only thing I was expecting was an entertaining action movie, and that's exactly what I got. I got an hour and a half of Sylvester Stallone giving 100% and a decent plot with very, very cool action set pieces. This would probably be my second favorite action movie of the year. It's a close second, and right behind John Wick Chapter 3. I just picked this up yesterday when I went to see the movie. It's my first actual 4K Blu-ray. The only reason why I got a 4K, I don't actually own a 4K Blu-ray player or a 4K TV. The only reason why I got a 4K it comes with Blu-ray, but the actual Blu-ray itself has a terrible cover, and I didn't want to get the cover. I'd rather have the black Blu-ray case and this cover rather than the actual Blu-ray cover, because it doesn't look that good. And also this one is some sort of extended cut that makes it rated R, so I don't know what that's about, but we'll have to see. Anyway, back to the review. Like I said, don't go into this movie being mad at the film. Go into the movie expecting an entertaining action film, and you will get the most out of it. And that is why I'm going to give Rambo: A Last Blood a 6.5 out of 10. I feel like it's really stupid to get angry at this film. I liked this film. It's a good conclusion as well to Rambo and his sort of series, and I thought it was a pretty average action movie. Well, I thought it was an entertaining and awesome action movie, but I thought it was an average plot, but it was still entertaining enough to enjoy the movie. And I do recommend it if you're easily offended by violence and just mature themes. Don't go see this movie, I guess. But if you want to see a good action movie and just balls to the wall, crazy deaths, and you love Rambo movies, you're gonna love this movie. So guys, stick around on my channel because I got plenty of stuff coming your way. I've got hopefully a review for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark next week. I really want to go see that movie. Most likely going to go see it anyway, probably next Friday, so a review might be up next Saturday. I'm not sure, but next month in October, we've got Joker coming out. We've also got Zombieland, Double Tap, and Terminator, Dark Fate. I don't know how long it's going to take me to see that movie because I'm not really looking forward to that movie very much, but I will go see that. But in October, every week there'll be about 1 or 2 horror movie reviews for my horror special. The Mainly Movies horror special is coming out for Halloween, leading up to Halloween, and a very special Is It Really That Bad next month. So stay tuned for that. I'm getting all this Halloween decorations. Like, I got a jack-o'-lantern right here. I got another one up there. Next week I'm going to be buying some more stuff, and for my backdrop, and just making some spooky Halloween stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that. And like I said, each week will be a different review for a different horror movie. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. So stay tuned guys, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.